The liver had exactly 47 minutes left. Sienna Park knew this because she'd been watching the temperature gauge drop for the last 20 minutes, and because somewhere 3 floors above her, a 6-year-old girl named Maya Chen was being prepped for surgery that would either save her life or become her autopsy. No pressure. The main entrance to St. Augustine's was blocked. 5-car pileup, ambulances screaming, chaos bleeding onto the street. Sienna had circled the building twice, her surgical clogs squeaking against wet pavement, the cooler's weight making her shoulder ache. 44 minutes. She should wait. Protocol demanded it, but protocol didn't have to look Maya's mother in the eye. The service entrance sat at the end of a narrow alley that smelled like rot and poor decisions. The alley was dark even in daylight, the kind of dark that had texture, thick and wrong, like it was holding its breath. 3 rules, her supervisor had told her. Keep your head down, don't
ask questions about the gunshot wounds, and never, ever take the service entrance after midnight. Sienna checked her watch. 12:47 a.m. Fuck it, she whispered, and stepped into the alley. The darkness swallowed her whole. Somewhere in the distance, a siren wailed. Closer, something metal clattered. Please, Valentina, I have kids! Sienna froze. The voice came from deeper in the alley, where the darkness pooled like oil between 2 dumpsters. Every instinct screamed at her to run, but her legs had transformed into concrete. So did the family you got killed with your negligence. The second voice was different. Female. Smoke and ice, and the kind of calm that came right before someone pulled a trigger. Sienna took a step backward. Her shoe scraped against broken glass. The sound echoed like a gunshot. Who's there? Run, her brain screamed. But the cooler. Maya. 42 minutes. Her shoulder hit the brick wall. The cooler slipped, and she caught it with both hands. And that's when she saw them. 4 figures in the narrow space between dumpsters. 3 men in expensive suits, standing. 1 man on his knees, hands zip-tied behind his back, face streaked with tears and blood. And a woman. She stood with her back to Sienna, white dress shirt rolled to her elbows, dark hair pulled into a neat ponytail. In her right hand, she held a gun the way other people held pens. Casual, familiar, an extension of her arm. The kneeling man was begging in broken sobs. I'll pay it back. I'll do anything. You already did everything, the woman said. That's the problem. The gun rose. Wait! Bang! The sound cracked through the alley like the world splitting open. The man's head snapped back and he crumpled sideways. Sienna's vision went white at the edges. She couldn't breathe, couldn't think past the ringing in her ears and the smell of gunpowder and the way the man's blood looked black in the darkness. The woman turned. Even in the shadows, Sienna recognized her. Everyone at St. Augustine's knew Valentina Greco, knew to go pale when her name appeared on intake forms, knew to page security before approaching her, knew that when her people came through the ER doors with bullet wounds, you treated them fast and forgot their faces faster. Valentina Greco, head of the Greco crime family, untouchable, lethal, staring directly at Sienna. Their eyes met, and for one crystalline second, the entire world held its breath. Then Sienna ran. She made it 15 feet before a hand caught her wrist and spun her into the wall, hard enough to knock the air from her lungs. The cooler hit the ground with a sickening crack. No! Sienna gasped, but Valentina's forearm was already pressed against her throat. Not crushing, but promising. Up close, she was devastating. Sharp cheekbones that could cut glass. Dark eyes that reflected no light.
lips pressed into a thin line that looked like it had forgotten how to smile years ago. "You picked a bad night for a shortcut," Valentina said softly. Sienna's vision blurred. She clawed at the arm pinning her, but it was like fighting marble. "Please!" Begging didn't work for him either. "The cooler," Sienna choked out. "There's a child. Transplant. She'll die." Valentina's eyes flicked to the cooler, then back to Sienna's face. Something shifted in her expression, too fast to read. "What's in it?" "Liver. 6-year-old. Maya Chen. 38 minutes. The words tumbled out in gasps. "She's in pre-op right now. If I don't..." "You just watched me kill a man." "I know. And your first thought is the organ donation." Sienna's throat burned. "My first thought is that you just killed my patient's only chance at living past tonight, and I don't have time for this conversation." The pressure on her throat eased slightly. Valentina tilted her head, studying her like a lab specimen. Brave last words. "They're not." Sienna met her eyes, even though every survival instinct told her to look away. "Because you're not going to kill me." "No?" "No." Sienna's voice steadied. "You're going to let me pick up that cooler, walk through that service door, and save that little girl's life. Because whatever else you are, you're not the kind of person who kills children." Silence. Valentina's men had gone completely still, hands hovering near holsters. The body between the dumpsters was still leaking, and Valentina Greco was staring at Sienna like she'd just spoken a language no one had used in years. Then, impossibly, she stepped back. "Pick it up." Sienna didn't waste time questioning. She dropped to her knees, grabbed the cooler, checked the seal, thank God, still intact, and scrambled to her feet. "Go," Valentina said. Sienna took 3 steps toward the service door before her brain caught up. She turned back. Valentina was watching her, gun still in hand, expression unreadable. "Thank you," Sienna whispered. "Don't." Valentina's voice cut like a blade. "I know where you work."
"Sienna Park. I know where you live. I know your mother is in Fairview Memorial with stage 4 lymphoma. And I know you have $140,000 in student loans you'll be paying off until you're 50. Sienna's blood turned to ice. "You didn't see anything tonight," Valentina continued. "You took the main entrance. You were never in this alley. You never saw me. Understand?" Sienna nodded, throat too tight to speak. "Good." Valentina turned back to her men, dismissing her. "Clean this up. I want him in the river in 20 minutes. Sienna ran. She burst through the service door, up the stairs, down the hall, into the surgical wing. Dr. Patel was scrubbed and waiting, face tight with worry that melted into relief when he saw the cooler. "Where the hell have you been?" "Traffic," Sienna lied, and handed over the organ. The next 4 hours blurred into a haze of steady hands and careful cuts, and the miracle of a small body accepting what it needed to survive. Sienna assisted from the gallery, watching through glass as Dr. Patel worked, as Maya's new liver pinked up with blood flow, as monitors beeped their steady reassurance that life was winning. When it was over, when Maya was stable and intubated and her vitals were holding, Dr. Patel emerged from the OR and squeezed Sienna's shoulder. "Good work tonight. Close call with that transfer." "Yeah," Sienna managed. "Close." She waited until he was gone before she let herself lean against the scrub room wall and shake. Her hands trembled so badly she could barely turn on the faucet. She scrubbed them anyway, watching pink-tinged water circle the drain, unable to stop seeing the way the man's head had snapped back, the way his blood had looked black in the darkness. You didn't see anything tonight. But she had. She'd seen everything. And Valentina Greco knew her name, knew where she lived, knew about her mother, her debts, the architecture of her entire life. Sienna dried her hands and walked to the viewing window outside,
Maya's recovery room.
The little girl was pale and small and alive, chest rising and falling with mechanical precision. Her mother sat beside the bed, holding one tiny hand, face wet with tears. Sienna had saved a life tonight. She'd also watched one end. Somewhere in her pocket, her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Well done, Sienna. The girl will live. So will you. For now." Her fingers went numb. She deleted the message with shaking hands and told herself it meant nothing. A wrong number. A coincidence. A promise. Or a threat. Maybe both. Sienna walked to the locker room, changed out of her scrubs, and stepped into the November cold. The parking lot was nearly empty at 5 a.m., just a scattering of cars under flickering streetlights. And at the far end, near the exit, a black Mercedes with tinted windows. Engine running. Watching. Sienna's heart stopped. She turned and walked toward the bus stop, refusing to look back. Her shift was over. She was going home. Everything was fine. Except she could feel eyes on her back the entire walk. When she finally risked a glance over her shoulder, the Mercedes was gone. Somehow, that felt worse. Sienna first noticed the Mercedes on Tuesday morning. Black, tinted windows, idling across from her apartment building like a patient predator. She told herself it was coincidence and hurried to the bus stop with her head down and her heart racing. The car followed. 2 blocks behind at the grocery store, 3 cars back on her commute. Always there, always watching, never close enough to confront. By Thursday, Sienna had stopped pretending it wasn't real. "You look like shit," Jenna said, cornering her in the break room. "When's the last time you slept?" "I'm fine." "You're drinking your 3rd coffee at noon." Jenna's eyes narrowed. "Is this about that alley thing? The shortcut? You came back looking like you'd seen a ghost." Sienna's hand froze on her cup. "Traffic was bad. That's all." Jenna didn't look convinced,
But her pager went off. Sienna exhaled when she left, then nearly screamed when she turned around. A delivery man stood in the doorway, holding an enormous bouquet of white lilies. "Sienna Park?" She nodded numbly. He set them on the counter and left. The flowers were beautiful, professionally arranged, obscenely expensive, and they smelled like a funeral home. Sienna's hands shook as she reached for the card. Heavy cardstock, embossed lettering, no signature. "For your silence and your discretion." "Jesus, that's creepy," Jenna said, returning. "You have a stalker?" "Wrong delivery. Probably." Sienna shoved the flowers into the trash can, card and all, and walked away before Jenna could see her face. The message was clear. You're mine now. If you're hooked on this story, hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. The email arrived on Saturday. Loan servicer. Your account balance has been paid in full. $140,387.23. Thank you for your business.
Sienna stared at her laptop screen until the words stopped making sense. Then she called them, hands shaking. "There's been a mistake. I didn't authorize—" "I'm sorry, ma'am, but the transaction is complete. Wire transfer. There's nothing to reverse." Sienna hung up and immediately called her landlord. Rent prepaid for a year. Then her mother's nursing facility. All outstanding bills cleared, next 6 months covered. She sat on her bathroom floor and tried not to hyperventilate. Someone had dismantled her entire financial life in 72 hours. The check arrived Monday morning, sitting in her mailbox like a coiled snake. $50,000. Paid to the order of Sienna Park, signed in sharp, elegant script, V. Greco. Sienna tore it into pieces and flushed it down the toilet. Tuesday morning, it was back. Same amount, same signature. Different note, typed on expensive stationery. "You can't refuse a gift you've already received. The debts are paid. This is for your compliance.
Accept it, or I'll buy the hospital. You have until Friday to deposit this check. Don't test me." Sienna's hands went numb. She believed every word. The black Mercedes was waiting when she left for work. This time, it didn't follow. It just sat there, engine running, watching her walk to the bus stop. A reminder. A promise. A cage she couldn't see but could already feel closing around her. Sienna climbed onto the bus and stared at her reflection in the window. Behind her, the Mercedes pulled away and disappeared into traffic. But she knew it would be back. They always came back. And Friday was only 3 days away. The man in the expensive suit was waiting outside Sienna's apartment when her shift ended at 2 a.m. He stood beside a black town car, not the Mercedes, something sleeker, with his hands folded and his expression professionally blank. "Ms. Park." He opened the rear door. "Ms. Greco requests your presence." "Tell Ms. Greco to go fuck herself." He didn't blink. She anticipated you'd say that. Good for her. Sienna tried to walk past him, but he stepped smoothly into her path. Not threatening, just immovable. "She also asked me to remind you that your mother's nursing facility is currently under review for code violations. Fire safety, sanitation protocols, staff-to-patient ratios." He paused. "It would be unfortunate if they lost their license. Your mother would need to be transferred. The nearest facility with availability is 3 hours away." Sienna's blood turned to ice. That's extortion. That's reality. He gestured to the open door. "The car is waiting." She wanted to fight, to scream, to call the police. But her mother's face flickered through her mind. Pale and thin and dependent on care Sienna could barely afford. "If I get in that car," Sienna said quietly, "what happens?" "You have a conversation. Then you go home." "And if I refuse?" His expression didn't change. "Then tomorrow, Fairview Memorial fails its inspection." Sienna looked at her apartment building, at the life she'd built from nothing, at the illusion of safety she'd been clinging to. Then she got in the car. The penthouse was everything Sienna expected. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, art that cost more than she'd make in a lifetime, furniture that looked like it belonged in a museum. It smelled like money and power and the kind of silence that only existed 40 stories above the rest of the world. Valentina stood by the window in tailored black trousers and that same white dress shirt, sleeves rolled to her elbows.
She didn't turn when Sienna entered. "You've been avoiding my generosity." "I don't want your blood money." "It's not about what you want." Valentina finally turned, and the weight of her gaze made Sienna's knees weak. "You saw something you shouldn't have. You chose to prioritize a child's life over your own safety. That interests me. I'm not interested in being interesting to you." Valentina's smile was razor thin. "You think you have a choice. That's adorable." She crossed the room with predatory grace, stopping close enough that Sienna could smell her perfume. Dark, expensive, leather and smoke. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to accept my protection. You're going to let me ensure your safety, your mother's care, your financial stability. And in return what? I become your kept woman?" "In return," Valentina said softly, "you give me something no one else can." "What's that?" "Your honesty, your defiance, your refusal to be afraid of me even when you should be." Her eyes searched Sienna's face. "Everyone I know wants something from me. Power, money, protection. You're the first person in 10 years who's wanted nothing." "I want you to leave me alone." "Liar." Valentina's voice dropped. "You want to understand why I let you live. You want to know if I'm the monster everyone says I am." Sienna's throat tightened. "I want to go home." "You're free to leave." Valentina stepped back. "But we both know you'll come back." "Why would I?" Valentina lifted a remote. The wall behind her flickered to life, dozens of screens showing security footage. Sienna's apartment, her mother's facility, her daily routes, every moment of her life recorded and cataloged. "You're already mine," Valentina said. "You just don't know it yet." Sienna's heart hammered. She should run, should scream. Instead, she heard herself say, "I'm not a project you can fix." "Good." Valentina's smile was knife-sharp. "I don't fix things. I collect them." The door opened behind Sienna, the driver waiting. Valentina turned back to the window. "Same time next week, Sienna. We'll discuss the terms." "And if I don't show?" Valentina's reflection smiled in the glass. "Then I'll come to you. And trust me, you don't want that." Sienna returned the following Tuesday at 8 p.m. as instructed. The driver was waiting at the same spot, same blank expression, same open door.
This time, she didn't argue. She just climbed in and watched the city blur past the tinted windows, each block taking her further from the person she used to be. The penthouse felt different at night. The city lights transformed the windows into a glittering backdrop, making Valentina's silhouette look less human and more like something carved from shadow. "You came," Valentina said without turning. "Did I have a choice?" "No. But I appreciate the punctuality." A dining table had been set near the windows, 2 place settings, expensive china, wine already poured. Valentina gestured to a chair. "Sit." "I'm not hungry." "I don't care. Sit." Sienna sat. Valentina took the seat across from her, studying her with clinical precision. "Tell me about your mother." "No. That wasn't a request." "And this isn't an interrogation." Sienna met her eyes. "You want honesty? Fine. My mother has stage 4 lymphoma. She's dying. Slowly. Painfully.
And there's nothing I can do except make sure her last months aren't spent in some underfunded hellhole. She leaned forward. Is that what you wanted to hear? Valentina's expression didn't change. Why did you become a nurse? Why do you kill people? I asked first. Sienna's jaw tightened. Because someone should care. Because the system is broken and people are dying in waiting rooms, and someone has to give a shit. She grabbed her wine glass, took a long drink. Your turn. I kill people, Valentina said calmly. Because they make choices that get innocent people hurt. Marcus was funneling hospital drugs to my competitors. When the supply dried up, they started cutting product with fentanyl. 12 people overdosed in 3 weeks. 4 of them died. She paused. So yes, I killed him. And I'd do it again. Sienna's hand froze halfway to her glass. You thought it was about money, Valentina continued. Territory, power. It is, partially. But I run protection rackets, smuggling operations, territory agreements. I keep order. When someone breaks that order and people die because of it, I respond. She tilted her head. Does that make me a monster? Yes, Sienna said quietly. But maybe a different kind than I thought. Something flickered across Valentina's face. Surprise, maybe, or satisfaction. The people I protect pay me. The people who cross me die. It's simple mathematics. Nothing about this is simple. No, Valentina agreed. But it's honest. They ate in silence, the tension thick enough to choke on. Sienna picked at her food while Valentina watched her with unblinking focus, cataloging every micro-expression, every tell. Why me? Sienna finally asked. You could have killed me in that alley. Why didn't you? Valentina set down her fork with deliberate precision. Because you looked at a woman holding a gun, and your first thought was a dying child. Because you demanded I let you save her, even though you knew I could kill you. She paused. Because in 10 years of running this organization, you're the first person who's treated me like I'm still capable of mercy. Are you? I let you live, didn't I? You're also blackmailing me. I'm protecting you. Valentina's voice hardened. You witnessed an execution. You're a liability. The only reason you're breathing is because I decided you were worth more alive than dead. So this is protection. This is survival. Yours and mine. Sienna pushed back from the table. I want to leave. You're free to go. Valentina stood, walked to the window. Same time next week. And if I don't show? Valentina's reflection smiled. We've already had this conversation. The driver appeared as if summoned. Sienna stood, legs shaking, and walked toward the door. She could feel Valentina's eyes on her back the entire way, studying, analyzing, dissecting every movement. Like a scientist observing a specimen. Like a predator deciding when to strike. If you enjoyed this twisted tale of danger and obsession, smash that like button and subscribe! Part 2 is dropping soon, and trust me, things are about to get even more intense. You won't want to miss what Valentina has planned next.